Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coin Matters channel. And today, we'll be discussing the great majority of cryptocurrencies, including XRP, XLM, and a few others that you might not have heard of. In light of this, I thought we'd get right in and discuss a post I came across earlier today. Now we know where Black Swan capitalist is coming from, and we can confirm that these technologies have a good shot at succeeding. IOTA, XLM, and XRP. To be honest, I haven't spent much time researching IOTA. I'm aware that many individuals have said positive things about IOTA. To be honest, I have never considered it. We see through interoperable solutions, creating an environment of collaborative disruption. I know they're doing a lot in the area of smart cities and related things, and I have my eye on a few others that I've mentioned before. Collaboration, rather than competition, is key. And we do see new frontiers opened up, as this is in line with the G20's published road plan for implementing ISO 9001 and ISO 90002. Cryptocurrencies like Ripple's XRP, Stellar's XLM, and IOTA's IOTA are dominating the $1 billion industry, and they may soon be integrated with one another. And, as we observe the current situation, given the universal adoration for Shantae, she is, in my opinion, a must-have on this roster. Still, I believe that Chainlink merits everyone's attention. My collection of links has been growing for some time now. Even if it dates back to September of 2022, this is still a fascinating development. We can confirm that Chainlink is working on a Swift token infrastructure. Through a collaborative proof of concept, token transactions can be instructed with minimal delay. Lessons learned. To facilitate quick messaging and token transfers, Chainlink and Quick are developing a proof of concept. As a result, we can see that this development will facilitate swift integration between blockchain technology and financial institutions. Finally, the cross-chain interoperability protocol developed by Chainlink will be utilized in the proof of concept. Once more, I find this whole thing really intriguing. I believe that some of these players, such as Chainlink or even Quant, are serious contenders. The reason being that they go together so well. The trouble is, everyone seems intent on making competition out of this arena. If we compare Swift and Quant, two highly complementary properties, I think this is fantastic because it demonstrates interoperability. We're seeing, unlocking interoperability through something like CCP for something as large as Swift, like that's very, very large, and it's actually very complementary for the entire industry as well because it can benefit a lot of these great, assets like even XRP, XLM, you name it, right? However, over here, via Good Morning Crypto, we learn that Swift acknowledges Ripple's superiority. Swift also acknowledges that Ripple is superior to central bank digital. Look at this. Ripple and other digital currencies are discussed in the context of central bank digital currencies. In addition, in January of 2023, a senior executive at Ripple, perhaps CEO Brad Garlinghouse, declared that 2023 would be the year when central banks adopted digital currencies. Now we have a speedy government official repeating the same falsehoods. Finally, how would you feel about a quick official acknowledgement of the fantastic job that Ripple and Stellar are doing? What can I say? It's incredible. We all know that Swift has an unacceptable number of bugs. Software developed in the 1960s is simply too outdated to use today. Of course, Linda P. Jones was the one who said it. I think everyone should do a little digging into Linda P. Jones if they aren't already familiar with her. She's fantastic in space, but I'd recommend you go for quick eliminating Ripple instead. Swift, I believe, is coming to terms with the fact that space travel is actually happening. And Ripple has been growing for quite some time. I just posted a video in which I discussed Swift, Volante, and the impact Swift has had on both of their careers. We are aware that Swift requires immediate resolution. So, from a technological standpoint, I think Ripple is a great fit alongside Swift. I think it would be great for Swift if they used RippleNet, which means they could also use XRP. However, according to Volante, the standard ISO 2022 will be at the center of this transformation by unifying and harmonizing systems, standards, and methodologies from around the world. Ripple is the best illustration of this phenomenon I know of. Then, in May of 2020, Ripple made headlines when it revealed it would become the first company to join the ISO as a member based on distributed ledger technology. And sure, I suppose while we look at Swift, we also look at Ripple and other similar projects. These systems strike me as highly supplementary. So far as I've seen, Ripple has the best payment technology if they're going to use the technology at all, like if Swift doesn't use blockchain technology. It really is that easy. It's the main reason why you'll find references to Ripple and XRP on so many financial papers. It's referred to in PDF documents. Numerous trials dealing with central banks, virtual currencies, and money transfers in general make reference to it. So, if Swift wasn't going to use Ripple and XRP alongside RippleNet, what would they use? I just don't see them surviving the next 5 to 10 years. And I believe there was a Visa or MasterCard that I used. Someone mentioned that during a convention. And they pondered, will Swift even be a thing in the year 2015? It's unknown to us at this time. They say that a lot can happen in 5 years up here, and that's a fact. After all, we can never be sure of what will occur in the immediate vicinity of this location. However, payment methods are evolving. Significant shifts are occurring. We are witnessing firsthand how rapid advancement in this area opens the door to widespread use of CBDCs and tokenized assets around the world. The post went live. Let me see if I can get a date for you two down here. To hell with it. The date is illegible to me. To hell with it. In 2022, on October 5th, the tokenization of assets is at the heart of this revolutionary solution, which also addresses a significant problem in the expansion of digital ecosystems. Uses the existing monetary system to demonstrate the global scalability of digital currencies and assets. New approach is currently being tested by 14 different central and commercial banks. As a crucial step toward facilitating their easy absorption into the global financial ecosystem, Swift has proven that central bank digital currencies and tokenized assets can move easily on current financial infrastructure. The results of 2 experiments show that a bridge can be built between distributed ledger technology networks and existing payment networks or systems, allowing digital currencies and assets to flow smoothly alongside and interact with their traditional counterparts, thereby resolving the significant challenge of interoperability and cross-border transactions. This major development expands upon Swift's foundational features and allows for the maturation of CBDCs and tokens. They can be rolled out quickly on a large scale to improve business interactions between any 2 of the more than 200 countries and territories in the world. Again, it seems like a major event has occurred. Connecting CBDCs allows for easy international money transfers. 9 out of 10 central banks around the world are actively investigating digital currencies, though they use a wide variety of technologies and tend to focus on domestic use. For the full potential of CBDCs to be realized across borders, it will be necessary for these digital currencies to overcome inherent differences to interact with each other and with traditional fiat currencies. Through its partnership with Capgemini, Swift is able to provide fiat CBDC flows between these networks and the real-time gross settlement system, as well as CBDC to CBDC transactions between networks utilizing the widely used Quorum and Corda interesting technologies. Swift's new transaction management capabilities demonstrated the feasibility of interlinking blockchain networks for cross-border payments through a single gateway. Furthermore, all 14 central banks involved are now working together in a testing environment to speed up the road to full-scale deployment, as was mentioned. Absolutely fascinating. As we look at tokenization, for example, the World Economic Forum estimates that tokenization may be worth $24 trillion by 2027, which is in line with what I've been saying about a lot of the major advances involving Swift and a lot of the major names. Except for a big catastrophe, I'm not confident that we'll reach that point anytime soon. However, I do believe that we are witnessing the formation of this infrastructure right before our eyes, and I find it incredibly exciting, especially with major players like Swift on board. While it's true that this isn't exactly breaking news, the fact that we've already seen Fast 2 advance the blockchain, corporate activities, pilot to the next stage this year, in March, is really intriguing. And as we can see, Swift announced the success of its newest corporate actions blockchain experiment yesterday, with intentions to move forward with full implementation. American Century Investments, Citi, and Northern Trust were among the 6 companies that took part in the most recent studies. Vanguard took part in the earlier trial via corporate measures. No matter if it's a stock split, annual meeting, or dividend. The problem lies with the middlemen. They get information from various sources, and it almost never agrees with itself. Asset managers, custodians, and brokers consequently need to put in a lot of time and effort by hand in order to establish accurate data. The purpose of this pilot is to establish a shared master copy of the data. Once again, blockchain was the central focus. What we're witnessing makes it very evident that blockchain and cryptocurrency technology are the wave of the future. When I talk about crypto and blockchain, I usually mean distributed ledger technology, DLT. As you are surely aware, blockchain technology differs slightly from DLT. But in the grand scheme of tokenization, I'm really pleased with the developments so far, what with Swift joining the CBDC fray and everything. It is common knowledge that by the end of this decade, the economy will have circulated CBDCs worth $5 trillion, as predicted by Citibank. So by 2025. Right. Or 2035. Sorry. It seems likely that there will be a great deal of money circulating throughout the system, and that it will continue to thrive in the future. That's why it's encouraging to hear more and more players like Taylor Swift predicting something like, oh, hey, we're going to have this much value. Or the $24 trillion estimated by the World Economic Forum for 2027. When the FedNow service becomes live, we have no idea how quickly things will actually progress. There are others who see CBDCs as the future of money and transactions, such as Bank of America. I think it's highly likely that widespread tokenization will occur in the near future. By the way, real estate is an asset class worth $300 trillion, both globally and nationally. No one can say for sure where our path will take us. However, I am aware that many people have been predicting somewhere around $16 trillion by 2030. But if I had to guess, I'd estimate $10 trillion by 2030. That would give us approximately 6.5 years to prepare. And in the next half decade, I can foresee a lot of activity in this area, to the point where, we are beginning to see a lot more property on the chain. Tokenized stocks and other forms of tokenization are beginning to have a significant impact on a growing number of capital markets. So, that's how I've been thinking about it. But what's interesting about a lot of these major innovations is looking at some of the names connected to them, like for example, Symbiont or, any of the other ones, because if we actually go back down, so I'm sorry, like if we go to Symbiont, we can see that it's a company that was founded by a former employee of Vanguard, which was used in this overall trial. However, we can observe what they do by visiting our website for an example, or their website. Symbiont is establishing the foundation for the future of the financial markets. Similarly, this firm has recently filed for Chapter 11 protection. Here we have Citi, State Street, Franklin Templeton Investments, NASDAQ, and Vanguard. What compels me to examine Franklin Templeton? In fact, it couldn't be easier. In fact, they just declared their alliance with Stellar. The Franklin On-Chain U.S. Government Money Fund, managed by Franklin Templeton, has assets of more than $270 million. And they settled on Stellar as the platform upon which to initiate development. Seeing this in action is incredibly thrilling. As an aside, this is a massive corporation. In the past, we dissected them, too. Just so you know. They are responsible for managing assets worth about $1.4 trillion. Size-wise, this one ranks high. As I was saying, let's take a brief detour back to Symbiont and examine this. We recently dissected Citi and Nasdaq using Ripple and Medco, two other major participants. Not only that, but Symbiont should charge SWIFT for the previous piece. SWIFT stated in its report that it was aware of the bankruptcy filing and that their corporate action solution was designed to be blockchain neutral. Right now, we're trying to figure out who among our technology partners is most suited to fill that job. We have no idea who they'll pick, but it's a fascinating mystery nonetheless. That Symbiont is no longer relevant. However, I see this as progress toward Clearing 2.0. Do you still remember our conversation regarding Clearing 2.0? Real-time payments, or at least real-time payment technologies, will soon become a major topic of discussion. We established many of these ties with major financial institutions like Citi, for instance, because they are the hubs for the kind of real-time settlement I'm referring about. We have also been keeping an eye on the Bank of London. Keep a close eye on the UK since there is a lot happening there. But I think the Fed's new service will be a factor that helps speed up the process. Everyone should keep an eye out for Clearing 2.0, which I believe will be based on CBDCs, DLT, and blockchain technology, and which will require banks to be adaptable enough to settle in whatever currency stakeholders require, as well as welcome the emergence of new point-to-point global networks like Ripple and XRP. Remember that XRP enables it, that XRP is capable of that. To be successful as a clearing bank, we believe it is essential that you are flexible enough to deal with incoming trains at the speeds at which they transfer funds. Sure, it seems like everything is converging on this breakthrough in technology. Furthermore, I believe that, as time progresses, we will begin to see more things like the FedNow service emerge, most likely in Europe and the Big Four. For the next few months, and perhaps years, this is going to be a trend to keep an eye on. However, I believe that we are entering a new era of payment methods. And I think a lot of these things are beginning to take shape. I believe that SWIFT and other leaders are aware of this as well. SWIFT, in my opinion, also has to push the boundaries of innovation farther than they have thus far. I am aware of their desire for CBDCs. CBDCs are the focus of their attention. But I seriously doubt that will be enough. I believe settlement technology will be essential for future SWIFT innovations. Even David Schwartz has admitted that Ripple is not an attempt to displace SWIFT, rather, it serves as a complementing piece of the technological infrastructure. They claim to be pleased that SWIFT is facilitating quicker payments, but insist on immediate settlement. There is one thing lacking from SWIFT, and that's it. And that's really all Ripple can provide them to round out their system. Please share your thoughts with me in the section below. In my view, XRP, XLM, and XDC are all really valuable assets, but Chainlink is the most essential. One underdog to watch is Chainlink. Chainlink should not be ignored. Finally, I wish you all a good time watching this video. Please show your appreciation by leaving a like, subscribing, and turning on notifications if you enjoyed the video. See you later, bye.